Hello and welcome to RES INDICA IAS Academy. We are India's first design-based learning platform for the civil services aspirants. Desh Badla, Padhai Badla. In this edition, we are going to discuss important news articles from 10th of June 2023. And I have tried to bring about some important news articles present in the Hindu and the Indian Express. I have tried to make a mind maps of them. For your perusal, I have also included the important pages of the newspaper from which I have sourced this particular mind maps. This you can download from our website. Now, coming back to the work at hand. First of all, we are going to see about some world news. Now, what was the world news? First is Australia seeking to stabilize and not normalize, which means that they want to stabilize the relation with China. How they are doing this? Many Australian businessmen which overdosed on Chinese market learned a big lesson during COVID, which means that over-reliance on China was proved to be counter-effective. India-Australia ties run deep and is influenced by people-to-people links. And Australia is also in the hood of joining the AUKUS, Australia and the US one, and its intention to play a decisive role in the Indo-Pacific region to counter China. Moreover, Australia's inclusion in the Malabar exercise was also a step in the right direction. Okay, now, first of all, a pragmatic approach for the better India-Nepal ties. Why was this in news? Because Prime Minister of Nepal, Pushpa Kamal Dahal Prachanda's first bilateral visit to India since he has assumed office. And they are going to focus on bilateral agenda, which will cover political, economic, trade, energy, development, and all such issues. They are also working towards economic integration. And economic integration will be brought about by hydropower project, access to Indian river transport, innovative tourism, etc. There will also be cooperation for payment. And there has been a memorandum of understanding signed between the NPCI, National Payment Corporation of India. Yes, the institution, the organization which made the Bhim UPI and all, and the Nepal Clearinghouse. Why? To facilitate cross-border payment, to ease the process. And this hydropower, etc. project, there will be some trilateral power transaction also, where India will try to engage with another nations. Coming back to some national news. First national news is ISRO to launch Chandrayaan-3 by mid-July. You all must be very well knowing about Chandrayaan-1, Chandra-1 and Chandra-2 mission. And this will be the third such launch in such a series. And ISRO will begin a fresh bid to land a rover on the moon. And this was unsuccessful in the Chandrayaan-2. Therefore, in Chandrayaan-3, they will try to make it successful. We already have an orbiter in the basically orbit. We want a rover. Chandrayaan-3 mission is identical to Chandrayaan-2 mission, which failed in the final stages of its launch back in September 7, 2019. Okay, next news. Sexual intent in POSCO. Definition of obscenity, what the Kerala High Court had said. High Court has ascended that nudity and obscenity are not always synonymous, and it was wrong to consider, it was wrong to always consider nudity immoral. The court also said that there is nothing wrong with a mother allowing her body to be used as a canvas by her children to sensitize them by the concept of viewing nude bodies as normal. There is a 2020 case, a video showing a woman's son painting her chest. Okay, the court has said that crucial question was whether there was any sexual intent on her part or not. And the court has quashed the case which was filed under the POXO. What the point? Another news. 5 potable water across India will avert 4 lakh diarrhea deaths. This has been said by World Health Organization. Now, in JJM, basically, 5 states which are Gujarat, Telangana, Goa, Haryana, and Punjab, and 3 UTs which goes by the name of Andaman and Nicobar, Daman and Diu, and Dadra and Nagar Haveli. They have 100% coverage. Got the point? It would also avoid 14 million disability-adjusted life years caused due to diarrhea. Center has also said that it will achieve 100% coverage under the Jal Jeevan Mission by 2024. Coming back to some economic news. Chief Economic Advisor of India, Mr. V. Anant Nageshwaran, what he has said basically, let us see. Economy on autopilot and it won't overheat for years. This is what something is said by him. Why? Because we are focusing on reforms, on factor reforms, skilling ecosystem, and with these, the economy can spur up to 8% of growth. Without reforms, Indian economy will grow steadily in range between 6.5% till 2030. With some sound economic policies, India could now grow for a longer period from 7 years to 15 years, like the China did between 1979 and 2008. And doing all this will not lead into overheating of the economy, means that there won't be inflation which becomes unsustainable. Inflation will be within the adjustable limits. Some unresolved problems are low-hanging fruits that will unlock, that will fuel further growth. With regard to the FRBM, Fiscal Responsibility and the Budget Management Act, which has taken a hit post-COVID, okay, it has been said that overall goal of ensuring fiscal sustainability has not gone away. Government is going to work on it, but yes, it will take some time. Another news, some exercise in inclusion now. Inclusive, ambitious, and action-oriented were the words which were used by Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Why? To define India's G20 presidency in Bali last year. Last year, the presidency was hosted by Indonesia. This year, it will be done by India. Now, tell me in the comment section, in 2024, which country is going to head the G20 meeting? Some more things are being said. India's inclusive approach is an extension of its domestic approach to development and progress, and they will focus on engaging all the sections of the society. What is Modi's approach in India? His approach is providing every citizen with the basic necessities and digital infrastructure. For the basic necessities such as drinking water and sanitation, digital infrastructure such as Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana, where zero balance account are opened, overdraft facility is provided for bridging in financial inclusion. Got the point? Another, PM Modi calls for a pro-planet people movement to fight climate change in an inclusive manner. And it reflects the G20 theme, which is Vasudev Kundubakam, or one earth, one family, one future. Okay, so we have tried to include the concept of both family and planet in a single go. India's G20 presidency is a people-oriented event, focusing not on heavy jargons, but people-centric approach. Jan Bhagidari or people participation approach has evoked great deal of enthusiasm. Africa will be strongly represented under India's G20 presidency. Why? To enrich and broaden the base of discussion. And we can see that many a nation are also calling India as the leader of Global South. Leader of Global South. All these things points to a direction where the growing power aspiration of India has been materialized. So India will indeed become a superpower a day and has taken right direction in this directions. Now, lastly, we will talk about some agricultural news. First news is MSP hike and its impact. What is MSP? MSP is announced by the central government, mainly Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs, on the recommendation of the CCAP. Sometimes state government add bonus to it. For example, fair and remunerative prices is given in the case of sugarcane, and state government gives some extra SAP on that. This covers the cost of cultivation. What impact it has on government finances? Higher MSP and more procurement and storage and dispersal of subsidized food grains are expenditure, and it increases the fiscal deficit of the government. Impact on rural India. Consumption growth trends in GDP have been weak, with drivers of rural consumption remaining uneven. MSP hike and food inflation. Basically, a 7% hike is MSP is enough to ensure that farm economy does not lose out to non-farm economies. Therefore, some kind of hike is warranted. MSPs are important not just for India's farmers and farm economy, but also for consumer and prices they pay for food. Why? Because the government has procured some amount of grain in MSP and has stored it in the buffer stock. Say, for example, there is any shortage and there is a price hike. In that condition, the government can release its stockage and can rationalize the prices. Next thing, holes in Jharkhand net about topic. First of all, what is Pradhan Mantri Kishri Sinchai Yojana? The objective is to increase the water use efficiency, facilitate adoption of new water saving technologies, expand area under assured irrigation. One such scheme which comes under this is per drop more crop. Okay, what is the issue? Issue is the Aadhaar cards were misused in Jharkhand to create fake beneficiary for this scheme. Indeed, a very wrong thing. Why this was done? Due to issue of access and connectivity in rural hinterland, digital illiteracy in the state, and lack of awareness. Already there are gaps in the public service delivery system, and the government must ensure that the processes are streamlined and gaps are plugged to prevent the misuse of government scheme. And there should be no proliferation of the scheme. Right beneficiary should be identified, and we should also have a kind of a grievance redressal where the people can come and can have a complaint. So this is it for today. We will meet in next class with the news analysis of 11th of June. Thank you very much.